Okay, boys and girls, so for today you're going to need place value 2A, page 1. And if you remember from yesterday's lesson, yesterday we went up to the 1 millions. Today we're going to go ahead and add another column to the millions, and we're going to go up to the 10 millions. So this is your ones, tens, hundreds. This is your ones period. So we'll highlight that in yellow or with your crayon. Yellow, that's our ones period, and we'll put ones at the top. Then get your green. With your green color pencil or crayon, go ahead and highlight the green or trace the green. That's your, this is ones, tens, hundreds, comma, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So this is your thousands period. For now, we're going to write it. Later on, we'll just abbreviate it, okay? So this is your thousands period. This is your ones period, your thousands period. After your thousands period, you have your millions period. That one, we're going to go ahead and outline it in blue. And that's your millions period. And we're going to use a comma to separate our periods. So remember that every period has 3 digits. Okay, every period has 3 digits. And you do not say the name of the period until you get to the comma. So here you would only say those 2 numbers, and then you don't say million until you get to the comma. So we're going to practice that today. Okay, so here we have our number in standard form. From standard form, we're going to go ahead and move it into our place value chart. Okay, so go ahead and do that right now. And we have, this is our ones period, our thousands period, and our millions. We have ones, tens, hundred, then you have your comma, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, comma, 1 million, 10 million. So this one goes in the millions period. So we're going to go ahead and write 14, put your comma, and then 5, 5, 0. Okay. So this is your number. You have a 14, circle your comma, underline, circle your comma, and then underline. So let's start reading this number. What is that number right there? You read it just 14, right? 14. So 14 is in the millions period. So then we say 14 million. This one, you read it to yourself or read it out loud. 792, 792 what? 1,000. And then you read your last period, 550. There's no comma, so we don't say anything. So you read this number, 14,792,550. So you're reading each number and you don't say the period until you get to the comma. All right, so here, let's go ahead and go with this one. The place value of the 7 is, so here's your 7. What place is your 7 in? The 100,000s place. So 7 is, the place value of the 7 is 100,000 or 100,000. So we're going to go ahead and put 100,000. Word form. So let's go ahead and write it in word form. And if you guys, if you don't know how to spell a word, once you get to your independent work, remember that you can go to your words right here. You have them in your journal. Okay, you have the number words in your journal. All right, so word form. Let's go ahead and start with this one first. How do I say that number? We just said it. Correct, 14. So we're going to write the number 14. We're going to underline it. 14 what? What period is it in? The millions period. So we say 14 million. We're going to circle our period. 14 million. How do I say the next 3 digits? Correct, 792. So we're going to write 700. 92. And what period is it in? Because there's a comma. So 792, and it's in the thousands period. So then I say 792,000. I'm going to write it down here because it doesn't fit. So I underline my word, 792. I circle my period, which is 1,000. And then my last, and a comma. And then my last period is 550. So I'm going to write 550. And that's it. That's your word form. And I'm going to underline it. Okay, now expanded notation. Expanded notation is when you use your multiplication sign. You tell me how many groups there are of that place. So we're going to start with our 1 in the 10 millions place. So I'm going to do 1 times 10 million. Okay, because that's where my 1 is. My 1 is in my 10 millions place. So how do I write 10 million? I put 10 million, right? And I know that after million, I have my thousands period. And my thousands period has how many digits? Correct, 3. So I'm going to put my 3 zeros there. This is my thousands. I still need my ones period, so I need another comma. My ones period has how many digits? 3. Okay, so here it is, 10 million, one group of 10 million. Plus 4. 4 groups of million, right? So I'm going to put 4 times 1 million. 1 million. I need my thousands period, which is 3 zeros. And then I need my ones period, 3 zeros again. Plus my 7 is in the 100,000. So 7 times 100,000. So here's 100,000. So I need my ones period. So I need 3 zeros. Plus 9 is in the 10,000s. So 9 groups of 10,000. 10, and then 1,000 is my comma. 10,000. I need my ones period. How many digits are in my ones period? 3, correct. Good job, guys. So there's 3. So 9 times 10,000 plus 2. 2 is in your thousands period. So 2 groups of 1,000. So 1,000, and then your 3 zeros for your ones period. 5. 5 is in the hundreds place. So plus 5 groups of 100. Plus 5 groups of 10. 5 times 10. We have 0 groups of ones, so I'm not going to include that. And that's your expanded notation. Now we're going to go with this one, the value. The value of the 5 in the hundreds place. So here's your 5. What value does my 5 have? If I have 5 groups of 100, I have the value of my 5 is 500. So here I'm going to write the number 500. So the value of the 500 is blank the value of the 5 in the tens place. So the 5 in the tens place, if I have 5 tens, my number is 50, right? I'm going to put 50 right here. So 500, is it greater or less than 50? We know it's greater. 500 is greater. So how many times greater? Well, 10 times greater. So the value of the 5, so it's going to read the value of the 5 in the hundreds place is 10 times greater the value of the 5 in the tens place. Because 500 is 10 times greater than 50. All right, so the next one, we're going to write this number. It's already in our place value chart. Let's go ahead and outline our ones, our thousands, and our millions period. So here's our ones period. Yellow. Our thousands period in green. And then our millions period in blue. And guys, what are we missing on our place value chart in between our periods? You got it right, guys. Our comma, we're missing our comma. So make sure you include your comma in there. Okay, so now we're going to do our standard form for this number. So all we're going to do is we're going to move our number over here and we're going to write it out. So 92. 92, and you're going to underline it because that's your millions period. So it's 92 what? Millions. So I'm going to put a comma right there and I'm going to circle my comma. So 92 million. Then I'm going to write this right here, my thousands period. And how do I read that number? Yep, 580. And I'm going to underline that, 580. 580 what? 1,000, because it's in my thousands period. And then how do I read my next three digits? 467. And I'm going to underline it. And there you have it. 92,580,467. So the value, let's go to the next one. The place value, excuse me guys, sorry. The place value of the 9. So here's your 9. What place is the 9 in? Well, this is my millions period. This is 1 million, 10 million. So the place value of the 9 is 10 million because it is in the 10 millions place. Because it's just asking you for the place value. Okay. The place value is 10 million because here's your place value right here. So now we're going to write it in word form. Remember, break it up in 2 periods. So there's your first period. How do I say that number? Correct, 92. What period is it in? And we said it over here. It's in my millions period. So 92, underline it, and then write the word million. And circle the word million, and then put your comma. Let's read our next one. 580. And what period is it in? It's over here. We said it's in our thousands period, right? So 580,000, and let's underline 580, and then we're going to circle our period. 580,000, put your comma there. And then our last one is 467. And that's in your ones period, so you're not going to circle anything. We're just going to underline. And then we do our expanded notation. So for expanded notation, you put your open parentheses, and it's going to be, what digit is in the 10 millions place? Correct, your 9. So you're going to go 9 times 10 million. 10 million. We need our thousands period, so we need our zeros. And then we need our ones period. That's your 10 million. Plus 2 million. Well, 2 plus 1 million. Times, 2 times 1 million. 1, comma, and then your thousands period, comma, and your units period, closed parentheses. Plus the parentheses again. Let's go to our next digit. It's a 5 in the 100,000. So 5 groups of 100,000. So then we just need our ones period. Plus 8 in the 10,000s. 8 times 10,000. 10,000. plus 0 thousands. So we're not going to write that one. We're going to skip over to my 4 groups of 100. So 4 groups of, 4 times 100 plus 6 groups of 10, 6 groups of 10 plus 7 groups of 1. So 7 times 1. And there it is. Okay, guys, if you're watching the video, make sure that you're pausing. Okay, if you need to catch up, just go ahead and pause and play, pause and play. On your own or with help, you can go ahead and do letters C and D. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to E. All you're going to do here is you're going to change it from standard form to expanded notation. So what you're going to do on this one is you're going to go ahead and label your periods, okay? So this is your ones period. So I'm going to put here ones period. The next one is your thousands period. That's your thousands period. And I'm going to put a TH there just to remind us that's our thousands period. And then this is our millions period. Okay, that's just reminding you what period it is in. Then I'm going to circle my commas. So I'm going to write it in expanded notation. It's like if I'm taking notes, okay, from my numbers. So my first number is 35 million. So I'm going to go with my 3. And my 3 is in my, here's my millions period. So here's ones period, ones place, 1 million. And then the next one is 10 million. So 3 groups of 10 million. 10 million. And then you need your thousand and then your units. Plus, the next digit is a 5. 5 is in the millions place. So 5 groups of 1 million. Plus 7 is in the hundred thousands. Here's your thousands period, right? 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So 7 is in your hundred thousands place. So 7 times 100,000. Plus 5 is in the 10,000s place. 5 groups of 10,000 plus 3 is in your thousands place. So 3 groups of 1,000 and then your 3 zeros. And then we go over into our ones place, our ones period, ones period. Here's our ones, tens, hundreds. So the 4 is in the hundreds place. So 4 times 100 plus 2 times, what place is the 2 in? Tens place, right? So we're going to put 2 times 10 plus 6. And 6 is in my ones place. So 6 groups of 1. And that is how you're going to do letter F, okay? Now, let's go down here to letter G. It says expanded notation to standard form. So this one, you are going to go from expanded notation and you're going to write it in standard form. We're doing the opposite of over here. So this number goes all the way to your 10 millions, okay? So this one goes all the way to your 10 million. So you know you're going to have your ones period. Ones period, right? And how many digits do you have in your ones period? Yep, 3. And after your ones period, you have your thousands period. How many digits do you have in your thousands period? 3. And then we have our millions period. Boys and girls, we do have 3 digits in our millions period, but right now we're only going up to 10 million. So we're only doing up We're only doing 1 million and 10 million. So the 2 is in your 10 millions place. So I'm going to put a 2 right there. The 4 is in the, if you do this, this is your ones period, thousands period, and your millions period. So the 4 is in the 1 millions period. So I'm going to put a 4 right there. I mean in the 1 millions place. 7 in the 100,000. So here's 100,000. So you put a 7 right there. 8 times 10,000. So it means it's in the 10,000s place. So here's the 8. 4 is in the 1,000s place. 6 is in the hundreds place. 3 is in the ones place. So be very careful here. What did they skip? The 10, right? So then that means that they probably have, there is a 0 in the tens place. We put a 0 in the tens place, and then we put a 3 in the ones place. And there is your number. That is going from expanded notation to standard form. All right, circle the digit in the 10 millions place. So here you would go ones, tens, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So I would go ones, tens, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. They're looking for the digit that is in the 10 millions place, so we're not there yet. And this is the 1 million and 10 million. So what digit is in the 10 millions place? Yep, the 7. So I'm going to circle that 7. So then over here, you do the same thing, except now they're asking you for the 100,000s place, to circle the digit in the 100,000s place. So go ahead and do the same thing that we did up here, and then circle the digit that is in the 700s. That is in the 100,000s place. Okay, letter J. Nancy wrote the number below. She boxed one digit and shaded another. So here she boxed in the 8 and she shaded the 8. Which statement about the shaded digit is true? Okay, so they want to know what's true about the 8. Okay, what's true about the 8? What is the value of this 8? So the value of the shaded 8 is 800, right? So they want to know what is true about 800 compared to this number. What's the number right here? 8,000, right? The number is 8,000. The value is 8,000. So it says its value, meaning the 800. So I'm going to put right here, its value means the 800. 800 is 10 times the value of the box digit. And we already said that the box digit is 8,000, right? So I'm going to put 8,000 up there. So its value, so it's saying that 800 is 10 times greater than 8,000. Well, we know that 800 is less, so this one is not true. Let's prove this one. Its value, it meaning 800, so I'm going to put 800 here. 800 is 80 times the value of 8,000. Well, we already said that it is not greater. So this one's telling me that it's 80 times greater. Well, we know that that is not true because 800 is less. So that one's out. And look at this. We're looking for true. We're looking for what is true. Its value, its meaning 800. 800 is 1/10 the value of 8,000. Now remember what we said. Whenever we're looking at this, this means that they divided by 10. So if it says that 800 is 1/10 less than the value of 8,000. Well, is it less? It is, right? So if I do this, if I'm on 8,000 and I move back, look at what I just did. I divide it by 10, or 1/10 of. So this one sounds like, this one, we can prove it, right? We can prove if we divide by 10, that our answer will be 800. So we can prove this one. This one, 1/8, well, we're not doing the value of 1/8. So this one is out. So that one is true. Why? Because 800 is 1/10 less the value of 8,000. And I can prove it by using a place value chart. If I'm on 8,000 and if I go back one place, we are on 800. All right, so you're going to work on place value 2B on your own, page 1, 2, and page 3. And these are like the examples I just did for you. And that is all for, oh no, and then you have, then you have 2B, page 4 as well. And then that will be all for Tuesday.